There was this cute guy, and he worked behind the bar, and I was like, oh, he's really cute, obviously, because he was a cute guy. Now, during the shift, we got into some really good conversation, and he was like, oh, do you want to come back to live with my parents? Do you want to come back to ours for a beer? And I was like, oh yeah, that sounds cool. Welcome to MAMWAA. I'm Gordy, your host, and this is the podcast that includes you into my most famous song lyrics.
He's a middle-aged man with an attitude, and he didn't even have one till he met you.
That's right, I'm the middle-aged man, and my attitude will chatter us through all things that I'm passionate about, from spirituality, the gym and fitness, food, travelling, and music or movies. Quick disclaimer, this list is not exhaustive. So you can get on or you can get off and join us for the episodes that you like the sounds of. Dip in or dip out, as long as you keep dipping. Either way, we've got something to say and we're going in 3, 2, 1 good day. That's all I used to ask for. I could not wake up in the morning without worrying about what was going to go wrong or how bad the day was going to go. If your days are looking like this, then you're likely to be in need of this episode. So you might be thinking, this is a bit much for your first episode, but it's fine. This is the perfect place to start because it gives me a chance to catch you guys up on what made me the positive person that I am today. Get to know my personal growth, me and my life a bit better. So as you can gather from that opening, my life was a bit shit in my 20s. Everything went wrong, all the time. It was only a matter of time until I had a turning point. Now, if you've never heard of a turning point, these are the things that happen in our life that change our psychological patterns, rewire our brains in some way. Now, they're usually quite extreme events. They shape us as people and the way that we think, and they cause us to turn our lives in a different direction. Turning point. So some examples that you might have in your lives might be things like serious breakup or heartbreak. You may have lost a loved one or be going through some grief process. Trauma, maybe some form of abuse. Accidents, near-death experiences. Now, we tend not to have too many turning points in our lives when good things are happening. Why? Because we're too busy enjoying the moment and living our best lives. So for me, and without being all depressing, I lost my job, my fiance, my house. I moved to Birmingham, lost another good job. I was living on my sister's sofa. I became unemployed. Let's not get too sad for me, Argentina, but I got depressed. So I got a new job. Now, in my first shift, there was this cute guy, and he worked behind the bar, and I was like, oh, he's really cute, obviously, because he was a cute guy. Now, during the shift, we got into some really good conversation, and he was like, I live with my parents. Do you want to come back to ours for a beer? And I was like, oh yeah, that sounds cool, because he was cute. What I didn't bargain for was his parents lived in a really affluent area in Birmingham, and they had an indoor pool and a gym and everything. Now, I was sat by the pool, and he went up to the gym and he jumped off the balcony into the pool, and I was like, oh, it's my turn. So I ran up, jumped off the balcony into the pool, but I didn't bend my knees, and I broke both my feet in the centre, both at the exact same time. Couldn't believe it. I was that drunk, I didn't know until the next morning. So long story short, I went to the A&E, accident emergency, and the doctor said to me whilst I was there, he said, have you ever dropped a pint glass and it's hit the bottom and shattered into 1,000 pieces? I said, yeah. He said, that could have happened to your skeleton. That was my turning point. I realised I was drinking all the time. I wasn't looking after my life. I wasn't looking after me. So I was like, I need to stop being so self-destructive. And that was it. I changed my life. I ended up, firstly, I had to heal. So I was off work for 4.5 months. I was in a wheelchair, so I didn't leave the house. And then I went back to, luckily enough, they kept my job for me. So I went back to that same place. I spent a lot of time on crutches for about 6 months. And then I decided to take my life seriously. I went to drama school. I started working out better. I stopped drinking so much. So I did start to look after myself. a bit better. I also got into spirituality and I started meditating, finding a better me. I was a bit more positive. I was just more joyful every day, and that helped me to stop drinking as much, helped me to take more pleasure in the fact I had a job. I could do more with my money, stuff like that. So that's how I got into spirituality, and I started talking to the universe whilst I was meditating and all that kind of thing. Now, I've had a massive result since I started talking to the universe about 10 years ago. It's one of those things that you hear about and you think about airy fairy nonsense, especially if you don't believe in things like ghosts or God or anything other than what you can see in the physical world. So lucky for me, I used to listen to spiritual music in my late teens, like Heather Nova, and I was seeing spirits and ghosts since I was about 5. So it came quite easily to me because I was open enough to listen to what the books and the meditation videos were showing me. So spirituality, broken down, things like law of attraction, like attracting what you feel, Bibles, different gods, gurus, depending on your religion, prophets, healing energy, things like your body chakras, auras, crystals, energy from stones and the earth, sound frequencies connecting to the universe. So I was into the sound side of it for quite a few years, like binaural beats, solfeggio frequencies, and I've recently released an album, The Universal Connection, and I want to put an album together with all the sounds. The theory behind this is the sound frequency creates whatever is being brought to you. Think about radio frequencies. So if you want to listen to Galaxy FM, you have to tune into a specific frequency or you'll never hear them. Same with Radio 1, Radio 2. Everything is on a specific frequency. Sound frequency is a specific hertz, a specific frequency that your body moves to, so that you're in the exact line with how the different parts of the universe are to bring you what you want. Long story short, I started my own company, which if you've ever done, it teaches you a lot about self-development, believing in more than just yourself, actions in the world that are part of the cosmic language that tells the universe, or God, if you want to call it that you want something very specific within your life and your existence here on this amazing planet that we have. So I started to practice some affirmations, being a better me, not listening to negativity unless it was constructive. I went through a breakdown in my 30s, and that ended up in me separating myself from a lot of negative people in my life at the time as well. Relationships had broken up and I had to sell my home. Sounds so awful, Gord. Yeah, it was. It gets difficult. Life gets difficult. It's not meant to be easy. But I'd started a health journey, I was becoming better at life, and I was just trying to do something which I used to call cracking the code. Hunting down the blueprints for a better life. Like, have you ever been really chilled and you start thinking on a much deeper level than normal? You might be sat back at home with a cuppa in silence, looking out the window, people watching in a coffee shop, and instead of scrolling on social media, you're just thinking. And you think, how are all these really happy, successful people doing it? There must be something that I don't know, like a key set of ingredients or actions in life that I can use to get the best results in my life too. Well, that was my driver, to find the rules of the game of life if you like. My first thought of finding the code and cracking it. So let me ask you this now. Have you ever felt static? Like life stops moving, you're doing the same thing day in, day out, every day, and you always feel like you're always ending up back at square one. You never get any further. And then something good happens. Doesn't stay good for long, because it never does. Me too. Well, sometimes life gets stale. And you know there's something else out there that you deserve. You know you deserve it. You work hard. You help others. You've raised good children. You look after good pets. Yet we still get the sense that we never get anything that we're worth. Again, that's what made me go looking for this magic rule book to hack life. So wait a minute, I'm not trying to turn you into a holy jolie or a Bible basher or anything like that. I'm just saying that there's a rule book to life and we need to write it ourselves. That's all. I found for me that it started with a belief. I had to keep believing something good was coming, and as soon as I got over the hurdle of believing, I found a way to believe every day. The rest just came much easier. So a disclaimer about this. When I walk into a church, I'm so uncomfortable. And I always have been from as young as I can remember. I even went to a small village in church, a church in a small village in Italy. Can't remember where, but that doesn't even matter. And I walked into this church and immediately I burst into tears. Cried like a baby for 10 minutes straight. And I walked out halfway through that guided tour. Yeah, I was on a guided tour. I looked like a right idiot. But on the other side of the coin, I can lie under the stars in the middle of the night and I feel like I'm ready to do anything. And I would be so happy for something to come out of that sky, take me off this planet. I just feel so connected. My point is this. My faith isn't religion. It's universal energy. Some say that we're one and the same, others would disagree. I won't explain my belief because I'm sure that everyone has different beliefs than others, and that's fine. But having a belief of any sort is a great starting point to trust that there is more deserving things coming your way. So before we get too entangled in belief systems, let's break off. We'll have a chat about who my main inspirations were to building a better awareness around my life, setting better intentions and actions to get what I wanted in life. So some of these may sound familiar to some of you, and feel free for you guys to drop your best inspirations in the comments, get in touch over social media. This can really help other people listening to this podcast to find their best influential person that they resonate with as well. So I'll go with my newbie friendly 4 in no particular order. Tony Robbins. I read this book, Awaken the Giant Within. In my early stages of growth, he had some really wise words with proven experience that really helped me to get out of some of life's slumps. He said, and I quote, "Beliefs have the power to create and the power to destroy. Human beings have that awesome ability to take any experience of their lives and create a meaning that disempowers them or one that can literally save their lives." Tony Robbins. Next, Mel Robbins. I read the 5-second rule, which was a motivational changer for me. If you decide to do something, do it in the first 5 seconds before you talk yourself out of it. There's clearly more in the book than that, but here's what Mel says. Change is hard. Logically, we know what we should do, but our feelings about doing it make our decisions for us. How you feel in the moment is almost never aligned with your goals and your dreams. If you only act when you feel like it, you'll never get what you want. You must learn how to separate what you feel from the actions that you take. You can't control how you feel, but you can always choose how you act. Mel Robbins. Isn't that just stunning? I love it. I need to give that book another read. So we'll keep on with the ladies for now. Gabrielle Bernstein. Now, The Universe Has Your Back was my first introduction to Gabrielle, and she truly aligned with my beliefs in this book. I was hooked. Gabrielle believes in this. You have to be ready to receive help, whether that be through a book, a therapist or counsellor, or a doctor of some kind. The willingness can lead you to a door to the other side, and that's where healing can truly begin. Gabrielle Bernstein. And lastly, but not least, by any stretch of the means, Bob Proctor. My first connection to Bob was in his book Thoughts Are Things, when I was learning more about the law of attraction, like we mentioned earlier. How our thoughts create our realities. He says, jobs and money are never the primary cause of stress. Negative thinking causes stress. The real cause of all our problems lie in our thoughts, not in things or circumstances. You and I possess the power to change our thoughts. It is our greatest power, the power to choose. If you are feeling stressful, choose to relax. Look at your problems like a stranger might. Then do something about them, now. Bob Proctor. So whether it's in those books or just by getting started with some videos on YouTube, I really hope those names will give you a great starting point to find the people that can help to teach you the rules and the skills to having a better life. It might sound a bit preachy, but I'll just say I've watched thousands of transformations in my own life because I started with a belief. And like we mentioned earlier, it's a belief that benefits me and the life that I live. I do believe that we can be so caught up sometimes in what other people are doing or what they might want or what they think about what we do, but we don't do things to fit ourselves into their idea of us or their little bubble. So what I'm going to say to you is burst that bubble wide open. Get what you want your existence to be. You hope for it, you wish for it, and we never stop. So start actually getting it. Get it now. So on that note, we'll start to wrap up today with a relaxation for a few minutes. If you're driving, running, or at work, come back later on if you want to do this. If you're already sat comfortably, take time to close off any negative self-talk and open your mind to a better feeling, and let's try to improve your mood for the day or evening. Please do subscribe to the podcast, leave a comment, pop over to our social media and follow at Gordy Camp on Instagram or Threads. Like our page, Gordy Camp TV on Facebook, and let us know if you have anything that you'd like to share with us on the podcast. Thanks for your time. Now let's calmly move into a peace and tranquility. Take a moment to find a comfortable position, either seated or lying down. Ensure that you won't be disturbed for the next few minutes. Begin by taking a deep breath in, filling your lungs completely. And then exhale slowly, releasing any tension. Do this 3 more times. Inhaling peace and exhaling any stress or tension. Now bring your attention to the top of your head. Feel a warm, gentle sensation. As this warmth moves down your body, imagine it melting away any tension or discomfort. Feel it move over your forehead, your eyes, your cheeks, jaw. Let those muscles relax. The warmth now travels down your neck, across your shoulders, down your arms, and into your fingertips. Let it continue down your chest, your back, all the way to your waist. Feel any tightness or pain dissolving. This warmth now envelops your hips, thighs, knees, and goes all the way down to your feet. Your entire body is now enveloped in this peace, healing warmth. Imagine now that you're at the edge of a calm, serene lake. The water is crystal clear, reflecting the blue sky above. The surroundings are silent except for the gentle lapping of water against the shore and the distant call of birds. Step into this water, feel the coolness wrap around your ankles, and as you walk further, notice that with every step the water cleanses and takes away any remaining negativity or comfort. Now, you're at the center of the lake, submerged up to your neck. Take a look around. Everything is peaceful. The world's chaos seems a million miles away. From the sky above, a gentle beam of light descends, touching the crown of your head. This light is pure healing energy. Feel it seep into your body, filling every cell, every fiber with health, vitality and strength. It targets areas of pain, discomfort or disease, and like a soothing balm, it heals. Embrace this healing energy. Know that you are worthy of health, peace and happiness. The sun starts to set, painting the sky with shades of pink and orange. It's time to return. Slowly walk back to the edge of the lake. And as you step out, you feel lighter, more at peace and rejuvenated. Feel the ground beneath your feet. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Slowly become more aware of the room that you're in, the surface you're seated on. Take a deep breath in and out. When you're ready, open your eyes. Carry this feeling of peace, tranquility, and healing with you as you journey onwards.